You know Ferrari, you know Lambo, but have you ever seen this? What you're looking at costs more than most people's houses, and 99% of car enthusiasts have never even heard of it. Welcome back, Rich Ride PS, where we expose the automotive secrets the elite don't want you to know about. Today I'm pulling back the curtain on the automotive world's best-kept secrets, 5 hypercars so exclusive, so insanely engineered, that they make a Bugatti look like a grocery store find. Stick around, because number 1 on this list, it doesn't just break speed records, it breaks the laws of physics. Car number 5, Zenvo TSR. Let's start with something that sounds like it escaped from a sci-fi movie, the Zenvo TSRS. And no, that's not a typo from your favorite energy drink. This Danish demon produces 1,177 horsepower from its twin, supercharged V8. But here's where it gets scary, and I mean genuinely terrifying. This thing has an active rear wing that can tilt 30 degrees in either direction. Not just up and down like your average supercar, side to side, like a fighter jet. Yeah, because nothing says casual Sunday drive like having aircraft-grade aerodynamics, right? Why does this matter to you? Because while everyone else is arguing about whether a McLaren or Porsche is the ultimate track car, Zenvo just said, "Hold my Danish pastry," and created something that literally changes its aerodynamic profile mid-center. The engineering behind this is so advanced that most automotive journalists can't even explain how it works, without using terms that sound like they came from a NASA manual. Only 5 of these exist worldwide. 5. Your chances of seeing one lower than your chances of becoming an astronaut. But here's what makes this even more exclusive. The waiting list was closed before most people even knew this car existed. The Danish engineers at Zenvo didn't just build a hypercar, they built a rolling statement that says, "We don't care about your mass production dreams." But here's the kicker. This leads us to something even more exclusive, something that takes the concept of limited production and laughs in its face. Car number 4, Apollo Intensa Emozione. Speaking of exclusivity, meet the Apollo IE, and yes, that stands for Intensa Emozione, which is Italian for intense emotion. But trust me, the only emotion you'll feel is pure, unfiltered envy. This isn't just a car. This is what happens when aerospace engineers have a midlife crisis and decide to build something with wheels. The entire body is made from carbon fiber so advanced it was originally developed for Formula One. We're talking about a material that costs more per pound than gold. Each panel is hand-laid by craftsmen who previously worked on fighter jets. And before you ask, no, you can't finance this through your local credit union. The naturally aspirated V12 screams to 9,000 RPM. That's higher than most motorcycles. But here's the insane part. This engine was developed specifically for this car. They didn't take an existing engine and modify it. They built it from scratch, spending millions in development for just 10 cars. Think about that level of dedication to perfection. But here's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Only 10 of these will ever exist. Not 100, not 50, 10. And here's the terrifying part. They're all already sold to people whose names you'll never know, living lives you can only imagine. Each owner was personally vetted by Apollo. You can't just walk in with a checkbook. You need to prove you're worthy of joining this exclusive club. Car number 3, Aspark Owl. Remember when Tesla claimed the Model S Plaid was the quickest production car ever? Well, the Japanese engineers at Aspark took that personally. The Aspark Owl doesn't just beat Tesla, it obliterates them. 0 to 60 in 1.69 seconds. Let me repeat that, 1.69 seconds. That's faster than some people can blink twice. This thing accelerates so hard, it literally warps your perception of time. The G-forces are so intense that they had to redesign the seats to prevent drivers from passing out during acceleration. I mean, at that point, why even have a speedometer? Just install a G-force meter and pray. 4 electric motors producing 2,012 horsepower. But here's the engineering masterpiece that most people miss. Each motor is individually controlled by artificial intelligence that makes thousands of calculations per second. While you're deciding whether to change lanes, this car's computer brain has already optimized power delivery, torque vectoring, and aerodynamic balance. But here's what really matters. This represents the future that the wealthy are already living in, while the rest of us are still arguing about gas prices. While you're pumping $70.00 worth of premium into your car, someone is silently gliding past you at 200 mph in complete silence. The battery technology in this car is so advanced, it makes Tesla's batteries look like AA cells from a gas station. Car number 2, Devil 16. This is where things get absolutely ridiculous. The Devil 16 doesn't just push boundaries, it takes boundaries, sets them on fire, and does donuts around the ashes. 5,007 horsepower, yes, you heard that right, 5,000 horsepower from a quad-turbo V16 engine that's basically a small building with wheels. This thing makes 3,757 pound-feet of torque. To put that in perspective, that's more torque than a semi-truck hauling a full trailer. The engine alone weighs more than most entire sports cars. At this point, I'm pretty sure they're not building cars, they're building controlled explosions with steering wheels. But here's the part that should terrify you. While everyone else is playing it safe, building reasonable 600 horsepower cars, someone out there decided that wasn't nearly enough. They looked at physics, laughed, and said, watch this. The fuel consumption? We're talking about a car that drinks gasoline like a freight train. At full throttle, this thing empties its fuel tank in under 12 minutes. The top speed? Theoretically over 300 mph. We say theoretically because no one has been brave enough or crazy enough to actually try it. Would you trust yourself with that kind of power? More importantly, do you trust yourself to earn the kind of money it takes to even be in the same room as one? Each test drive requires a team of engineers and a closed runway because public roads simply can't handle what this machine is capable of. Car number 1, Lykan Hypersport. And here it is, the crown jewel of automotive insanity. The Lykan Hypersport, the first hypercar from the Middle East, and quite possibly the most outrageous vehicle ever created. Let's start with the basics. 780 horsepower, twin-turbo, flat-six, 0-60 in 2.8 seconds. But that's not why this car exists. This car exists to prove a point. And that point is simple. When you have unlimited resources, impossible becomes just another word. The headlights? They're not LED, they're not xenon, they're diamonds. Actual diamonds. 240 15-carat diamonds to be exact. Each headlight contains more diamonds than most jewelry stores have in their entire inventory. The interior? Gold-stitched leather with precious metals throughout. The gear shift knob is carved from a single block of titanium and encrusted with rubies. Because nothing says, I've made it, like literally driving around with more diamonds than most people see in a lifetime. This isn't a car, it's a piece of jewelry that happens to have an engine. But here's what makes it even more insane. The holographic display system shows everything from engine diagnostics to GPS navigation, projected directly onto the windshield. We're talking technology that was science fiction just 5 years ago. And no, buying a lottery ticket doesn't count as a strategy. These aren't just cars, they're proof that the next level exists. They're evidence that while you're debating whether you can afford the premium gas, someone else is living in a world where $3,400,000, 0 cents, is just the entry fee to an exclusive club you didn't even know existed. But before you go, if this video motivated you to think bigger, hit that like button. And if you're serious about joining the ranks of people who don't just dream about these cars but actually own them, subscribe Rich Rides PS and ring that notification bell. Because I'm building a community of people who refuse to settle for ordinary. And trust me, you want to be part of what's coming next. The choice is yours. Stay comfortable or join the elite. I'll see you in the next video.